let's start what this NEGC initiative is all about. So NEGC stands for National Employment Generation Campaign. आप सभी को पता है. The Hindi translation of the same is Rashtriya Swarozgar Srijan Abhiyan. So basically, we are focused on creating self-employment opportunities for the farmer, women, and youth community of India. Now, regarding this particular initiative, we are focused that the various NGOs who are a part of social can come together through this initiative and promote self-employment nationally, irrespective of whichever sector they work in. So they might be working in education, healthcare, whatever, but they are together going to promote self-employment nationally is what this initiative is all about. Now, never before has it been tried with the NGOs of our country. So this is the first of its kind initiative if you take it in that sense. Now, in this initiative, we are focused that we will be providing training to the farmer, women and youth community. We will be providing them with technological, financial and infrastructural support. I'll explain how in 1 minute. And then whatever they produce or manufacture, we are going to sell them on their behalf under an umbrella brand following the cooperative model like Amul does with milk in Gujarat. Now, how are we going to achieve that? So in order to achieve it, what we are focused on is that the problems that are being faced by the farmer, women and youth community will address the same. Then, as I mentioned before, training and all, we'll provide them with that support. And then whatever they produce or manufacture, we'll be assisting them. So what are the problems that the farmers, self-help groups and the youth face? So there are a lot of problems, but the one primary factor, which is why they are not being able to be successful, is because they are facing marketing issues. So farmers have a lot of issues. They face marketing challenges as well as middleman issue. They do not get rates, proper rates for the products that they produce, and various other problems, including irrigation problem and then working capital problems. So there are a lot of problems that these farmers face. Now, as far as the farmers are concerned, there is one very big issue that in India, more than 80% of the farmers are marginalized, small and marginalized farmers. Now, what is small and marginalized? So, small and marginalized farmers have a land holding of 1 to 4.5 acres. Now, due to this small land holding, which has been passed on from generation to generation, they are not being able to produce a lot of products. Firstly. Secondly, the problem that they are facing due to this small land holding is that obviously quantity is getting hammered, so they are not being able to produce whatever they produce in a big quantity. The third problem that they are facing is most of them are growing either wheat, sugarcane or paddy. Now, due to this, the problem that they are facing is that they are not getting appropriate rates for this generic products. Now, the reason why I call these products generic is because most of the farmers are growing these three products. If you go in the south of India, the sugarcane production is very dampened, as well as the paddy and wheat production. And in the north, the paddy and wheat production is rampant, apart from some places where sugarcane are grown. Now, due to this very generic farming, and since everybody is doing it, they are not getting appropriate rates for their produce. Now, due to this reason, the middlemen exploit these people, and what they do is they do not provide appropriate rates for whatever they produce, and farming has essentially become a loss-making business. It is a business, but it is loss-making right now. And apart from that, there are many other problems that farmers face. Now we'll go to the SHG angle. Now, in the farming angle, I'll explain one more thing, is that the government, they created a lot of FPOs. Now, I wouldn't blame the government for that, is because the reason being that they cannot exclude farmers from their initiative. Some farmers we will exclude, some farmers will take, so they cannot do that. That is why they took all of the farmers and organized them into various FPOs. Now, the problem that is happening due to the FPOs and due to thousands of farmers in each FPO, the problem that is happening is that the government the state or center government, any government is not being able to assist these thousands of farmers per FPO properly. So this is a genuine problem that the government is facing, due to which the farmer is being affected. So this is from the farmer angle. Now regarding the SHG, a similar problem is being faced by the SHG. The problem is that the SHGs, the women groups, have been filled with a lot of women, and there is not any tangible source of fund, due to which they are not being able to produce whatever they want properly, or because of that they are not being able to, because as I mentioned before, farmers are producing a lot of generic products. So similarly, SHGs are producing a lot of generic products. Most of the, according to socials analysis, from Gujarat to Arunachal, right up to from Ladakh to Tamil Nadu, most of the SHGs are producing similar products. So what are these products? They are producing pickle, slippers, light bulbs, incense sticks, similar products. A lot of edible items also, not of non-edible items also, like sari and other products. So this unnecessary competition that they are creating amongst themselves, that some SHG in Gujarat is also producing pickle, likewise someone in Arunachal is also producing pickle. Now, due to this reason, they're not being able to create a proper brand for themselves, which is very important from the business point of view, as well as not being able to sell them nationally on a wide scale, as well as internationally, they are losing the opportunity to sell the same. So this is for SHGs who are producing something. Now, most of the SHGs, we are all NGOs, we work on the field, we know that most of the SHGs are not producing anything. Most of them have become microfinance units, that someone has a this thing, a wedding in their house, or some woman's this thing, uh, uh, child is facing problem in submitting the school fees. So what they do is they take money from the SHG pool fund, and they pay that respective personal financial requirement, and then they pay back the SHG through whatever they earn in smaller amounts. So essentially, SHGs have become microfinance units, which was not the case, which was not the idea with which the SHGs were started. This is the problem that the SHGs are facing. Now, what is social going to do for them? So, social is going to provide them with proper marketing access. I'll also explain holistically what social is going to do. The SHGs, social will be assisting them in getting proper funding so that they can produce whatever they want to produce. And also, social is going to tell them what to produce, so that social can buy that from them and market it nationally as well as internationally under one umbrella brand, as well as one e-commerce brand. So an application is under construction right now. It is being coded right now. It will be ready in 2 months approximately. So once that is ready, the products of the SHGs will also be properly marketed nationally as well as internationally through that e-commerce platform, as well as physically it will be promoted through distributor channels and other options. So there's one last angle from the SHG side, is that we are planning on starting from next year onwards with the produce of the SHGs and the farmers. We are planning that we'll be giving out franchisees of some stores, like you might have seen stores of Amul, Nandini, and other milk products. So similarly, social is also going to start small stores. Now these stores will have products of the farmers as well as the SHGs, and these franchises will be given out to business people so that these products can be marketed properly. Now, this is as far as the SHGs are concerned. And the last angle is that we'll be assisting the youth community in starting a business of their own. I'll explain what is the benefit that the NGOs will get through organizing all of this. So, as far as the youth is concerned, so the youth in this entire business model will be primarily responsible for the distributorship. So if you see any large company, any MNC and other sort of companies, most of these companies have a distributorship channel so that their products reach the required market. Now, social is going to do the same with the youth of the society, which who are going to register for this initiative, is that we'll be appointing them as distributors. So the marketing will be looked after by us. After the marketing, once we get the appropriate orders and all, we'll be providing these orders to the youth so that they can supply the same and earn in the process, so that they'll be able to secure a livelihood for themselves. So this is a very basic explanation of this NEGC initiative. Apart from that, I'd like to mention three more things actually. So the first is the program model and strategy. So look, uh, why was NEGC started? So NEGC started because the NGOs, the society, and the government. These are the three pillars of the society: the NGOs who are working in the social sector, the society who's in requirement of the services that the NGOs provide, and the government. Again, these people also require the assistance of the NGOs, and apart from that, they also require the timely services of the NGOs of the society. So these all of these people in the entire chain will be serviced through the NEGC initiative financially, as well as whatever the motives is will be filled out through this initiative. I'll explain in the third point. I'd like to mention 3 points right now before I conclude in English. So the first point is, if you would have noticed, there are four basic types of businesses that are going to be anytime successful in India. The first type of business is a distributorship-led business. So why am I talking business? I'll explain in the third point. So regarding the distributorship business, most of the products that are produced in India, if you take the example of Unilever or any such big other company, they have a lot of rural channels. So they are able to provide their produce in the rural sectors easily. Now, due to this, they have a lot of marketing scope. So a distributorship-led business is always going to be successful in India, firstly. Secondly, a lending business is always going to be successful in India because the uh, the lending environment in India is not that conducive, and people find it difficult to get proper working capital or funds in order to start their businesses, run it, and all in India. So it is always going to be successful. So if you would have seen the zamindari system and all of these people, they have been lending people money. Uh, the banks are right now lending people money also, and it is always going to be successful. The third type is an export-led business because India wants to become an export hub. So that is another type of business that is going to be successful. And lastly is the manufacturing business, because India wants to become a manufacturing hub. So there is always a scope to manufacture more and more in order to compete with China or USA for that matter. Now, if you look at NEGC carefully, NEGC entails all these four aspects. So there is the manufacturing aspect in NEGC. I already mentioned regarding the SHG, we are going to focus on value addition and manufacturing. Apart from that, in the from the farmer point of view also, we are going to focus on manufacturing. Initially, we are going to focus on whatever they produce, we'll assist them with selling the same. But eventually, our target is that we want to push the farmers into food processing also in order to increase their income. So there is the manufacturing angle in NEGC. There's the lending angle also. So lending through that social is not going to benefit as such. So we'll be assisting the farmer groups, the SHGs, and the youth in securing working capital so that they are able to do the businesses that we tell them to. So this is the second aspect of it. And the third aspect is from the export point of view. We are primarily focused on manufacturing this whatever we have discussed right now, and then eventually marketing it nationally, primarily internationally. So once we are able to secure the quality of the products that we manufacture, we are going to focus on export opportunities only, primarily. So this is one of the other angles in which social is going to function. And apart from that, there is always the distributorship angle. So the fourth thing that I mentioned before is we are going to provide the products in rural as well as urban areas, so that the people are going to appropriately earn from the same. Firstly, secondly, the products of the farmer groups, women groups, and the youth are able to reach even rural as well as urban markets, is what this initiative is all about. So these are the four types of businesses that have been successful in India, and social is this NEGC initiative is incorporative of all these four types of business opportunities. Now, how are we going to achieve that? So as I mentioned before, social is focused on a cooperative model. So right now we are in the process of establishing a national agriculture and livestock marketing federation. Then eventually we'll be focused on forming state cooperatives, agriculture and livestock cooperative unions, and lastly 19 cooperatives in every district. Whatever I'm saying right now, by tonight we'll provide a detailed PDF regarding the same in the WhatsApp groups of social. So the NEGC initiative is a cooperative model initiative. So eventually what our focus is that the self-help groups, the companies of the youth, so they are not going to do the business on a personal level. Will assist them in forming their forming companies of their own, so that they can do proper transactions, they can file ITRs and all, they can avail working capital through loan opportunities as well as grants. So from the youth angle, we are focused on assisting them in forming companies of their own and then starting their business. From the SHG point of view, obviously an SHG will have a bank account of their own. We want them to have good turnover, good transactions, so that again, if they want to buy a machinery, let's say for spice packaging, for masala packaging, so they can avail it easily, and then they can package the same and provide it to us. Packaging material we'll provide. They can for example, only I'm saying spice this thing packaging. Packaging can be of anything else also. It can be of wheat, rice, and other products also. So they package the same and they provide it to us, and we'll sell the same, and they can earn in the process. Similarly, for the farmers, we are focused that the cooperatives that will be formed with these farmers, will be assisting them in forming, in increasing their turnover, so that eventually they can buy mechanized farming equipments, so that they can automate their farms and reduce the labor requirement. And these laborers and these second generation farmers, so in from the farmer point of view, we focus on three types of farmers: first, second, and third generation. First generation is the person who is already doing the farming. From the second generation point of view, that second generation farmer is the daughter, son of the farmer who is already farming, and they are not interested in farming because they have seen that farming is a loss making business. And the third point of view is the landless laborer who is working in the farms of these farmers. So from the first generation farmer point of view, we are focused on automating their farms so that they require less and less labor. From the second generation farmer point of view and the third generation, we are focused on pushing both of them into food processing, so that they can earn more and more from the same patch of land, and eventually they can increase their income to higher levels. Now, that is as far as the cooperative structure is concerned. So we want the financial transactions to be online, as transparent as humanly possible, so that they can eventually apply for grant and loan opportunities, subsidized loan opportunities, and we will be able to produce whatever we want through them. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning this, is if you start a company, any company, from the cooperative point of view or from the private limited or any other point of view, you require a huge capital infusion. So in order to make NEGC successful and assisting every SHG and farmer group with monetary assistance and assisting them in producing whatever they want to produce or manufacture, it is going to require thousands of crores. Now, no one is going to give any cooperative thousands of crores, at least not at this stage. So, what we can do in this particular scenario is we can take the assistance of the government, state as well as center government, and they are already providing a lot of funds to the cooperatives, farmer cooperatives, to the women self-help groups, and as well as the youth. So that is as far as the NEGC initiative cooperative structure is concerned. Now, the last point I'd like to share is the financial aspect of it, and then I'll explain everything I've discussed in Hindi again for 15 minutes. So, as I mentioned before, we are focused on the farmer groups, women self-help groups, and the youth group. Now, there are 4 financial targets to the NEGC initiative. I'll explain in short, and then I'll take your questions after I complete the same in Hindi. So, regarding the NEGC initiative, there are 4 financial targets. The first target is, I'll explain how we are going to achieve the targets also. The first target is that every farmer who is associated with the NEGC initiative should be able to make 3,60,000 rupees per acre per year. We'll tell them what to produce and we'll give them proper rates for the same. And we'll ensure that there is proper quality of whatever they produce, like many companies are doing in a very corporate and very professional structure. The second target is that every SHG associated with the NEGC initiative should be able to make 11 lakh rupees through this entire initiative. On an average, there are 10-12 people in an SHG. In some cases, there are 20-25 also. The third scenario regarding the youth is that every youth through this initiative should be able to make 7 lakh rupees per year. I'll explain after I conclude as to how they are going to be able to achieve the same. So this is the third target. And the last target is that every NGO who's associated with this initiative, because look, many governments have tried, many state and central governments have tried also. But according to socials analysis, if we want to implement all of this professionally, nationally, then NGOs should be involved in a much bigger capacity, because that is how this initiative is going to be successful. The government has no business running a business, firstly. Secondly, if you give this entire structure, because the agriculture market is huge, approximately 30-40 lakh crore market this is annually. So if you give it to one business structure, it is not possible to implement the same, because the government cannot, whether it be the state or the national government, they are not going to be able to promote any one businessman in this entire initiative to make this initiative successful, because that is not legally possible. And lastly, no NGO without the support of the government will be able to achieve this, and no farmer woman group and youth will be able to achieve this. So the NGO is the link between the government and the farmer, women and youth groups, through which this initiative will be successful. So this is as far as the financial aspect is concerned. Lastly, I'll mention how we are going to achieve this finance. So how are we going to achieve these financial targets? So I'll give you an example. Let's take the example of onion. If you look at the onion production, so if a person has 1 acre of land, if a farmer has 1 acre of land, and they whatever they produce twice annually, so every 6 months they are producing something. If you take the example of onion, on an average per acre, 8 to 10 tons of onion is produced. Now, if you take it as 20 tons annually. So you'll see that in order for the farmer to earn 3,60,000 rupees producing 20 tons of onion annually, every for every kilo of onion, they'll it will be required that they'll be provided at least 18 rupees per kilo. When have you heard that onion is being sold at below 20 rupees in the general market? So this is through the NEGC initiative, we want that the farmer should be able to two things. Firstly, set the dates of their products, which is not what they are being able to do right now. And secondly, they are able to get maximum uh, uh, financial amount through this initiative, which otherwise they are not getting because of middlemen. Recently only, we were in talks with an NGO from Rajasthan. They mentioned to us that something like garlic is being sold at 10 rupees per kilo in some places in Rajasthan. Can you imagine 10 rupees per kilo garlic? But farmers are getting that amount only. But the middleman is selling it for a lot more eventually. I understand there's a processing factor to it, but still 10 rupees a kilo. So what is the farmer going to earn eventually? So the reason why this NEGC initiative was started is because we want to provide maximum benefit to the farmers, and eventually through this entire large initiative, we want the SHGs, the youth, all of them can become financially stable. So this is the entire initiative, and I'll mention one last thing regarding the vegetables and fruits, and regarding the wheat and rices and pulses and other products, other grain products, and regarding the meat products, poultry, fishery, and goatry products. There are three basic margins that we are going to maintain from whatever we get from the farmer. From the vegetables, we have calculated, including the margin of the SHG, the NGO, the this thing, the youth, the farmer, and every other person involved. We are going to only require a margin of 4 to 5 rupees per kilo, whether it be for vegetables or for fruits, in order to accommodate for all of it, including transport, everything. As far as the meat products are concerned, there is going to be a margin of 10 to 30 rupees, 30 rupees for mutton and all, for goat and all. So 10 rupees for chicken and 30 rupees for goat. So in this price range, we are going to cover again all of the margins of whatever is involved, whoever is involved in between, including transport, sorting, grading, packaging, everything. And lastly, for the grain products, we are going to be requiring a margin of again 5 to 6 rupees, including sorting, grading, packaging, transport, and all, and everyone's margin who is involved in between, including staff expenses and all. All of it is inclusive of staff expenses in order to maintain this entire structure. Now, these margins, the reason why I'm mentioning this is these are very small margins if you consider the entire market. So we are prepared, and we have planned accordingly that the maximum benefit should go to the farmer community, because they are more than 50% of our, close to 50% of the entire population. And once this 50% is able to generate a lot of funds, then only this country is going to become a developed nation by 2047, else it is not going to be developed ever. So this is the entire NEGC initiative in short. Tonight we'll provide a presentation regarding the same in the WhatsApp group. And now I'll take some questions in English or Hindi if you want to ask some questions. Most of you understand English. So we'll take some questions. Yeah, so many ma'am asked, the market price will change from time to time. How can we manage? This is a very good question. This is the main problem with this entire market. Now, social is going to solve this through two processes. Firstly, if you look at the cost price, why does the cost price rise? So the cost price rises primarily because of water shortage or water excesses, primarily, apart from other reasons due to the cost of fertilizers, pesticides, and other products. So there's another question: which products are included as per farmers' point of view? Yeah, so I'll answer that in a minute. I'll give so many ma'am's answer first. So yeah, so it reduces or increases primarily because of water shortage or excess. Apart from that, the prices increase according to our analysis because of the increase in cost of the fertilizers, pesticides, or because of abundance of production. So in either of the cases, if you analyze each of the products now, you will find, let's take the example for onion only. So if you do a quarterly analysis of the rates of the products, you'll see that 6 months in an year, some of the products are being sold at an X rate, which is lower than the average, and uh, some of the products are being sold at Y rate another 6 months of the year, which is higher than the average. Now, if you account for this fluctuation, you'll find that the products are being sold at, let's say, at 6 months, it is being sold at, for example, 10 rupees per year on an average. 10 rupees per kilo for 6 months and 20 rupees per kilo for another 6 months. Now, if you take the average, that comes to 15. This is a very basic calculation. The calculations are not that basic. We have studied the rate fluctuations for the past 5 years of close to 148 products, which is the answer for the next question. They are going to be close to 148 products, and we are going to produce and supply all of them. So I'll answer that in a minute. So ये जो products हैं, these 148 products, all of them have rate fluctuation. So we have calculated for the past 5 years, and we've accounted for some variables also. Finally, we have come to the conclusion that most of these products can be sold at a Z rate, which is the average of X and Y rate. And the farmers are going to benefit from the same, because either ways they are earning that much only. Or they can be provided at Z plus A. Now, what I mean by this is, एक rate में पहले sell हो रहा है, it is being sold at X rate. Then for 6 other months, they are being sold, the products are being sold for Y rate. Now, the average of both is Z. Since we are eliminating the middleman, we can either provide Z to the people, firstly, to the farmers, I mean, or we can provide Z plus A. A is an average value, which is more than the market value, because we do not have to provide any money to the middleman. So this is what the farmers can be provided. So in order to answer ma'am's question, Somini ma'am's question, we can provide an average rate to the farmers for one whole year. We'll do agreements with them as far as the rates are concerned. So when the rates go down, they are going to benefit from it. But when the rates go up, they are going to not as much benefit from it, because they are going to benefit on an average. So kabhi, if they are selling at 10, if they are selling at 20, at 15, they are being able to sell them all year round. So they can have a fixed source of income. It's not as if they can sell it for 20, they'll be able to sell it for 20. Selling is also a challenge, no? So we are guaranteeing them that whatever you produce, we are going to purchase it for more than the market rate at any given point of time. And this is the rate that we are going to purchase it from you at. So this is as far as the market price is concerned. We are least bothered about the market fluctuation, price fluctuation, because we are providing the farmers more than what they are going to earn from the open market. So anyhow, they are going to be benefited from our initiative. Now, if they are earning a certain amount, the only difference that we are creating is that we are giving them sustainable earning. That is, we are giving them assured sustainable earning. That is, this much amount you are going to earn every year, and you'll be able to run your family through it, which is not the case right now. So we can provide them with particular rate for all year round. Now, another question is which products are included as per farmer's point of view. So, as per farmer's point of view, we are focused on, as I mentioned before, there are 19 cooperatives that we are going to form. So there is a cooperative we'll provide the PDF by tonight in the WhatsApp groups. So there are going to be 148 products in 12 categories. So there is poultry, fishery, goatry, one cooperative for potato, one for onion, one for pulses, then one for rice, one for wheat, then two for vegetables, and two for exotic items, so zucchini, broccoli, and stuff like that. And there is another two for nuts, then spices, and there are some few other cooperatives for some other purposes. So this is the basic categorization of the products. The total number of products are going to be 148. We have shortlisted 148 products as of now. And we are going to start producing and trading in them. Some of the transactions have started. From July 15, we are going to start small level transactions right now. And then eventually we'll increase the transaction amount. The next question is, who will give the findings to purchase? Fundings you mean? So as far as the funding is concerned, so there are two types of funding in this entire initiative in order to purchase the products. So the first type of funding is some people have provided some pool funds so that this initiative at least starts right now around July 15th. And then the second type of fund, which is a larger pool fund only, but larger pool fund, is going to be pool fund of the SHGs as well as the youth. So these, if you study any distributorship model, the SHGs, the person purchases the product from the company for which they already have an existing order, and they earn in between. So they are the marketing is being done by the company, but they are purchasing it from the company, providing it to the buyer, and then they are earning whatever margin in between. And that is how mostly the distributorship model works. Similarly, in social distributorship model, the youth, the funds that they are going to provide through the government schemes and all, they are going to provide it to social in order to purchase these products. So we have end-to-end control. You're understanding what I'm saying? The farmers are growing what we are telling them to, and eventually doing value addition. The SHGs are doing value addition, how we are telling them to. And the youth is purchasing the product and supplying it in the market for which we already have an order because we are marketing it on their behalf. So this is as far as the entire model is concerned. So next question is, supply and demand determine consumer behavior, rightly so. Your model will be trying to remove fluctuations. Is it possible to create static market? So it is not possible to create static markets as of now because consumer behavior is a very complex angle, and no one has been able to understand that till now. There are many theories around it, multiple theories, but no one has been able to accommodate for the fluctuations very appropriately. So no one has been able to calculate how the consumer will behave. So it's very difficult to create static markets. But yes, what is possible is that you can determine what the consumer, you can understand the general psychology of the consumer, right? as far as the Indian consumer is concerned, what do they require? They require good quality product at good rates, easily. So this is the three basic criteria. So good quality product we are going to produce at good rates, because we are going to eliminate the middlemen. Good quality. By good quality, I mean we are going to focus on organic products only as far as the edible angle is concerned. Eventually, look, social is not only a system to produce, to purchase whatever people produce and sell it. It is trying to build an entire ecosystem where the artisans of our country are also being provided with a market to sell whatever non-edible products, that is handicrafts, artificial jewelry, sari, and various other garments and all, whatever they produce can be sold also. So it is basically going to provide an entire ecosystem. And as I mentioned before, we are also coding this thing, an e-commerce platform. So like Amazon, Flipkart and all. So that is also going to significantly contribute to the entire market. So to answer your question, sir, it is very difficult to create a static market. But yes, if you study the consumer behavior properly, we can, as I mentioned before, we have deduced three things: good quality product at good rates easily. So good quality product, since we have end-to-end control, whatever they are producing and all. So that we can assure. Organic we can assure. So people are eventually going to be very much interested in this. And if you look at it carefully, sir, organic produce also is very unaffordable. So it is said now that health is only for the wealthy. So if you're healthy, you're wealthy. So if you're wealthy, you're healthy, something like that. So the organic products are currently being sold at an unaffordable rate. So if we want people to purchase it en masse, to purchase it in huge quantities, we have to bring down the cost by at least 10-15%, so that maximum number of people can afford the same. So that is also what we are going to focus on through this entire initiative, to bring down the cost, because everyone has a right to food, right? Everyone deserves good quality foods, not chemical induced foods. So that is also one part of the initiative. So we will be able to provide them with good quality products at good rates easily, because we are going to penetrate the physical market as well as the digital market. So like Amul has, Nandini has, and many other brands have created a milk brand. Likewise, Social is adamant that we will create a huge organic product brand as well as the products of our artisans, so that authentic products and all, so that it can get a national as well as international market easily. So this is going to be the basic structure of the entire aspect. There's one more question. Once we purchase the products from farmers, we have to send those products to Delhi, or we can distribute those products to SHG's youth? Yeah, so this is a good question. So I'm sorry. So yeah, this is a very good question. So we do not have to send the products to Delhi. According to Social's model, most of the products, so I'll tell you two things. Firstly, from the production point of view, we are focused on 755 districts. In each district, we are going to have 1,330 farmers who will be organized into 19 cooperatives consisting of 70 farmers each. So in these districts, 755, we are focused on the production point. The second point is the products that have been categorized. So 19 types of product in every district. There are many products. Which can be sold in it. 148 to be exact, as I mentioned before. So these products will be sold in a 200-kilometer radius. So right now, what is happening? I'll tell you an example. Onion example only. Onion, 40% of India's onion is being produced in Nasik only, in Maharashtra. Likewise, most of the spices are being produced in the southern region. Many of the other products are produced in pockets. So the problem that we are facing through this operational model is that if something wrong happens in Nasik, let's say like previous year, many of the products they had the season it went hot very soon. So what the farmers did is they cut out all the onion before only, which were under quality onion, and they had to sell it for 4 rupees or 5 rupees per kilo. Now, according to social's model, we are going to produce most of the products in most of the districts. So there's not going to be a problem of selling the same. We are going to sell the same in a 200-kilometer radius. And there's no need to send the same to Delhi, because from the production point of view, we are focused on 755 districts. But from the marketing point of view, we are focused on only 100 districts. So most of the metropolitan and tier 1 cities, we are focused on every capital city and all. So they'll be sold in these capital cities as well as some other cities, some cities which are advanced. So that is where it is going to be sold. So yes, to answer Somini ma'am's question, we do not have to send it to Delhi. We'll have to send it to the concerned city, wherever that product is required. So this is a basic answer. So anyone who wants to ask any other question, else I'll explain the same in Hindi in 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yes, Vishnu. मैं विष्णु बोल रहा हूँ.
हाँ विष्णु सर बताएं.
मैं कन्वेनर भी हूँ NEGC का, वेस्ट बंगाल का.
जी सर.
इसका जो आपने जो मार्केटिंग एस्पेक्ट में आप बात कर रहे हैं, लेकिन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एस्पेक्ट में तो इतने ये तीनों चीज को जोड़ने के लिए ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्ट्रक्चर कैसे, मतलब इसको बिल्डअप करना है क्योंकि 28 डिस्ट्रिक्ट है, तो उसको सही बेस लाइन सर्वे के थ्रू हम लोग जोड़ सकते हैं. एक दूसरा बात, एक छोटा सा ऑफिस या तो कुछ ना कुछ तो रहे हमको ह्यूमन रिसोर्स और मतलब उसको कनेक्ट करने के लिए कोई ना कोई एड्रेस तो चाहिए. और थर्ड, कोई फंड है क्या, मतलब ताकि हम लोग, मतलब जैसे फॉर्म वगैरह आपको जेरॉक्स करना पड़ता है, ट्रैवलिंग कॉस्ट वगैरह है ना, तो इस चीज को आपने कुछ बताया नहीं सर.
ओके. तो पहला, जहां तक ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल स्ट्रक्चर का बात है, तो उसमें जैसा मैंने पहले बताया कि नेशनल मार्केटिंग फेडरेशन, स्टेट लेवल पे कोऑपरेटिव यूनियन और हर जिले में 19 कोऑपरेटिव, ये स्ट्रक्चर है. आप लोगों का केवल ये काम है कि आप अपने किसान, महिला समूह और युवा लाके दो, उनको कैसे ऑर्गेनाइज करना है, क्या करना है, दैट इज एन इंटरनल मैटर. बिकॉज एनजीओस ने कभी बिजनेस किया नहीं, तो बहुत ज्यादा एक्सपेक्ट करना कि एनजीओस ही ग्राउंड लेवल सब कुछ संभाल लेंगे, ये कर लेंगे. एक लिमिटेड कैपेसिटी में आप सभी के रोल रहेंगे, बिकॉज आपके बिना ये काम हो नहीं पाएगा. बट ये कह देना कि बिजनेस ही पूरा आप करेंगे, ये आपके लिए भी ठीक नहीं है, और प्लस इनिशिएटिव के लिए भी ठीक नहीं, बिकॉज एनजीओस प्राइमरीली बिजनेस में कभी रहे नहीं, तो उनको पता नहीं है किस तरह से ग्राउंड लेवल मैनेजमेंट क्या वगैरह. बहुत ज्यादा जो बिजनेस करते हैं उनको पता है बहुत ज्यादा मेहनत की आवश्यकता होती है. तो एक तो स्ट्रक्चर के एंगल से बस वो है, आप रजिस्ट्रेशन करके दे दो, अगली जिम्मेदारी हमारी. दूसरा, जो आपने कहा कि लोकल लेवल पे ऑफिस वगैरह की जो रिक्वायरमेंट है, तो ऑफिस अभी टेम्परेरी बेसिस पे मैक्सिमम स्टेट्स में सोशल के एक टेम्परेरी ऑफिस है. कोलकाता में भी है आपके, प्लस अलग अलग स्टेट्स में भी है. दिल्ली में हमारा परमानेंट ऑफिस है. परमानेंट ऑफिस होने का इंतजार करने पर फिर हम इनिशिएटिव को इम्प्लीमेंट करें, वैसा गलत होगा. बिकॉज हमें वो करने में 15-20 साल समय लग जाएगा. हर जगह एक परमानेंट ऑफिस करने में 15-20 साल नहीं लगेगा, परमानेंट ऑफिस बनाने में. बट अगर रेंट पे लेना ये, तब भी 2-3 साल तो और लग ही जाएंगे. तो 2-3 साल इंतजार करके फिर करना, दैट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. आप लोग दिल्ली में जब भी रहो आप आके मिल सकते हो, पहला. दूसरा, अगर कोलकाता में आपको मिलना है तो कोलकाता में भी हमारा एक टेम्पररी ऑफिस है. इंद्राणी मैम उनको उसको ऑफिस को देखती हैं, तो उस तरह से भी हम एक दूसरे से टेम्परेरी एक ऑफिस में मुलाकात कर सकते हैं. बट इवेंचुअली ऑफिस करना तभी पॉसिबल होगा जब सोशल में अच्छे मोटे फंड आएंगे. जो मेंबरशिप का टॉपिक हम कवर नहीं कर पाए अभी, बट वो अगर कवर कर पाते, मीटिंग अगर जल्दी स्टार्ट होती, सभी ज्वाइन करते, तो उसमें एक ये भी टॉपिक था कि सोशल ने अपने पहले नेशनल जनरल बॉडी मीटिंग में ही ये डिसाइड कर लिया था कि इवन दो सोशल रजिस्टर्ड एनजीओ बनेगा, हम कोई भी CSR गवर्नमेंट फॉरेन फंडेड प्रोजेक्ट नहीं लेंगे. because of clash of interest with member organization. कि क्षेत्रीय सर भी बंगाल में प्रोजेक्ट ले रहे हैं हेल्थ केयर में और सोशल भी ले रही है, ये क्षेत्रीय सर के साथ विश्वासघात है। उन्होंने सोचा था कि सोशल में ज्वाइन करेंगे, कुछ प्रोजेक्ट वगैरह मिलने में सहयोग सहायता मिलेगी, बट सोशल ही प्रोजेक्ट लिए जा रही। तो इस वजह से सोशल की जो फंडिंग है, जो प्राइमरी सोर्स ऑफ फंड है हमारा, वो केवल मेंबरशिप फी ही है। तो मेंबरशिप आप लोग करो अच्छे से, ताकि हम हर जगह ऑफिस वगैरह भी कर पाए। और जो तीसरा विषय था आपका कि इसमें मोबिलाइजेशन में जो खर्च वगैरह है, तो देखिए इसमें दो चीजें, एक तो किसी भी अर्निंग के लिए इन्वेस्टमेंट की आवश्यकता होती है, तो इसमें भी आपका एकमात्र यही इन्वेस्टमेंट रहेगा कि आपको खुद से जाके लोगों को मोबिलाइज करना हो, बिकॉज ये कोई सरकारी प्रोजेक्ट है नहीं, कोई सीएसआर प्रोजेक्ट है नहीं। जब तक लोग आपके साथ नहीं होंगे, रजिस्टर्ड आपके साथ नहीं करेंगे, तब तक आपको कोई सीरियसली नहीं लेने वाला। बाय आपको आई मीन सोशल के बारे में मैं बात कर रहा हूँ कि जब तक किसान, महिला समूह और युवा हमारे साथ रजिस्टर्ड नहीं हो, तब तक हमें कोई सीरियसली नहीं लेने वाला है। So thank you very much everyone for joining. We'll meet again in the next meeting and we'll share the details of the NEGC by tonight in the WhatsApp groups of social. Thank you very much everyone. Best of luck for the this thing registration process, and best of luck to Team India. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.